forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based.
Hi Mario, hi Syria, how are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Wonderful. So what questions do we have today?
Yeah, certainly. So the first question that we have, they ask, what does a high salary really mean for EB1A? Should I compare myself to national or regional averages? Is the 90th percentile actually enough?
Okay, I think this is a very interesting question. The law doesn't say anything actually. Let's understand. I think this is a very interesting question because we have seen people who are getting even $1 million salary getting denied, or there is an RFE on that, or people who are getting even 150, 160, they are getting through. Now, how does that work? Because one of the most important thing that you have to see is that, remember one thing, the consistency or the currency of your entire petition is your expertise. Now, why are you getting that salary is the key important part. So, first thing that I always suggest people is to connect your salary to your expertise. Okay, that's the first and foremost things actually. For example, if you are getting it for multiple jobs or doing some responsibility, that may or may not work very well. So, kind of mention your expertise and the role that you do very clearly in your salary also. In fact, you can connect it to the critical role criteria. That's a good kind of an analogy I can give you. I think the question specifies to comparison. So let us say, for example, if somebody were at the top of their field, how would you compare it with them? That's the whole question first. So it is national or local would be a first part. But before that, local comparison with what? I have seen certain people comparing it to a median, actually, saying that, he's getting 3 times the median, 2.5 times the median. But that would be median of what? Median of not the population, but it has to be people in your field. So even when you compare people in your field, it should be that you are in the top. Now, top is a top decile, which is like a 90th percentile, which is a good idea to say that you are at the top this thing, but that alone may not be sufficient. What is the other comparison you are giving it? Do you give only one comparison or do you give multiple comparison? I always suggest to give a multiple comparison because that's the best way to do it. Rather than just saying that, you are using one database or two database. So use multiple database across what is possible. Compare apple to apples. So if you are comparing a base salary, then compare base. If you are doing it on an hourly basis comparison, then do it hourly based. If you are doing it in a generic, so please don't just kind of compare it for the sake of comparison. You use BLS data or something like this. You have to use multiple databases for comparison of salary. Second, I said you have to connect it to your expertise, which is very important. Third, use any other metrics that if you can. Now, what are the other metrics which would be? It could be perks, it could be benefits, it could be some other, kind of perk benefits. You are getting some stocks, let us say, because stocks are not given to people who are just working and who are not at the top of the field, actually. So this is something which is very important for you to realize it. So you need to. So there are multiple layers that you should do connected with your expertise. I've seen a lot of RFEs coming in because of these issues, which people are saying that, the USCIS is saying that you have just having a salary does not entitle you. That's the cool part. People think that they are just getting the salary, so it is an entitlement. I recently saw a denial actually wherein the person was getting more than $1 million and the person did not get the through actually. So beware of this and make your argument. So I always suggest that, wherever we make an argument, do it at 3 levels. First is based on facts. Second is based on logic and some metrics. And third would be which is based on legal arguments. Doing a comparison analysis and all these things. So what does the law says? So if you do all these 3 things, that would be wonderful. So that would be my answer actually. And yes, national or regional, ideally it should be for the people in your own field. If you still think that you can nationally also, you are better off, then do both. Although both are not required. But only do nationally if it is like, if you are living in a small city or something like this, then it may not be worthwhile to do a national, because national could be higher for you. So don't do that. I hope this answers the question, and let's move to the next.
Absolutely. So the next question is: I've been working towards the O1 and see that EB1A could be a viable route to explore alongside this process. Does the next league help if I'm looking to file for EB1A and O1 at similar times, or should I just focus on one rather than the other?
Very good question. We have had a couple of folks who got O1 and EB1A both, and we do have help and assisted people. The only difference is that in O1, please understand, it is a non-immigrant visa, and EB1A is an immigrant visa, so that leads you to green card. Yes, we have definitely helped. So one has to look at your profile. If it is ready and you can do it right away, then I think we can suggest you to go for O1. If not, then you can kind of build up your profile, get your EB1A in order, and get your EB1. There are some people, students in our program, they even the moment they filed EB1A, they also filed O1 actually simultaneously, and they got both approved. I mean, that's the way I would like to suggest. It all depends on your profile. But answering your question specifically, does NextLeague help if I'm looking to file for EB1A? The answer to that is an affirmation. Yes, we'll definitely reach out to Syria, Mario, or I, and we'll be more than happy to help you actually. So we can assist you, and since we are also as a law firm, we can kind of connect you to an attorney, coaching, and as well as the legal services. We could do that actually for you. Okay, so let's move to the next.
Yeah, absolutely. So the next question is, how much time per week should someone realistically dedicate to profile building for consistent progress?
I mean, frankly speaking, guys, I do not want to answer this question in just numeric terms. It has a lot of layers into this. The first thing is that what stage of professional career you are in? At what stage of expertise you are in? Remember, there are 3 dimensions for your getting EB1A. The first is your degree of your expertise. If you are not an expert, then it is not. It is not about your profile. Its first fundamental thing is about your expertise. Rest everything can follow. Are you technically sound? If you say you are a surgeon, then surgeon can perform surgery. The question is, what do you mean by profile building? Is it about just getting some kind of a paraphernalia around it? The answer is it doesn't help you actually. We have seen people getting 8 criteria approved and getting rejected. The core part is technically how sound you are. When I say that I was a financial planner, what exactly I have done? Not having a knowledge. Expert solves problem. I have said this repeated times actually. Experts fundamentally solve problems. What problems have you solved? So first is that when you talk of profile building, what are we talking about? Are we talking about just getting EB1A, or are we talking about meeting the characteristics of EB1A, or are you talking about becoming that level of expert actually? So it has to be at a multi-layered. So I would strongly suggest everybody who is on this path of getting EB1A is to first think about your expertise. We help you to do that. We don't teach you your expertise, but we teach you how to kind of present that to USCIS that will work. That is the first and foremost thing actually. The second is understanding EB1A. And third is learning how to present yourself and actually getting it. So, but as a fundamental rule, we always advise people that to commit 10 to 15 hours per week to begin with. But remember, you get EB1A not because you are fulfilling the criteria or you think that you have built up your profile. You get it because you have solved people's problem, that expertise is relevant to the USA, and you will continue in that field. So this may not necessarily answer the question. And yes, I have also kind of, let's look at certain Malcolm Gladwell's book. Actually, it says that if you want to become an expert in something, you should in total spend 10,000 hours. Now, 10,000 hours over a period, it's not sequentially also. But the question is, you have already spent, you have a 10 years experience, you have 5 years experience, you have 20 years of experience. So something you would have done in your professional career. What is that? Were you just we're not just going to office from morning to evening. When you say you have a 10 years experience, when I interviewed people, I always like to ask one question actually, that is it a 10-year experience, organic and progressive experience, or is it just a 10-year experience of 1 into 10, 1 year being repeated 10 times? So, or are you remember one thing, in 10 years, the first grader has crossed being in 10th grade. It has started going to high school. Now, there has been certain growth, intellectual growth during that 10 years for that person, for a student, for a young kid. Now, what have you done during that time? Has it just been repeated? So one can always do a first grade and do it 10 times, versus one can always be like grow in the career in 10 years. So what have you achieved in those 10 years? What contributions you have done, that is important. And that can be manifested for the purpose of EB1A, actually, your achievements, your growth and everything. So I think there's a lot of layers into it. At what stage you are in, what have you achieved, what is the degree of your expertise, and what is the impact that you have done by virtue of your expertise. What problems have you solved? One has to look at holistically to look at it. We have seen some people coming and joining the program and getting their EB1A in just 6 months. Some people have taken 8 to 12 months, which is a sweet spot. And for some people, it has taken a longer time, but they have still earned it, actually. It has taken almost. The people's time commitment has been very different for each one of them. Okay? So that's how I would like to say that. So let's move to the next question, guys.
Absolutely. So next we have, I initially came to the United States through a smaller consulting firm. Will this be a consideration during the EB1A filing process, and how might it impact the overall success rate of my petition?
It is not because it is small that we can concern. If you have been legitimately coming to the US, definitely there would not. I don't see a problem at that, actually. The only thing that I would like to add here, that recently we have seen some RFEs and NOIDs where there could be, if that same consulting firm has gotten into some issues with USCIS because of some other fraudulent filing for which you may not be there, there could be a kind of a investigation that could be conducted with reference to your case. Nothing more than that. It is not about your petition is a standalone petition on its own merits. Okay. So that's what I would like to say. And let's take the last question now, actually, guys.
Certainly. So the next question is kind of similar to the last one, but they ask, I'm currently not employed with a top tier technology company. How does this factor influence the likelihood of success in an EB1A application?
I mean, when you say, remember one thing that I always add a phrase that you don't have to be a celebrity, your work has to be celebrated. This is a very important thing, actually, that, likelihood of success, in terms of your small company, big company. Yes, but definitely if you are going for a critical role, then criticality of the company or employer will matter because of the distinguished nature of the organization will matter. But what is the work? I mean, the very fact that every company was small once upon a time, and what contributions you did to make it big because of by virtue of your work is something that is going to matter. So I don't think you should worry about it as long as it's good. If the company is very small or something, then what is the impact? How are you going to use it to show the impact is something that we'll have to study. But prima facie, we have seen people working with small consultancies and they were represented. This did not, and top small tech firms also, it has worked very impactfully, actually. So if you have any questions, if you have any other queries, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Mario and Syria will be there to assist you. I'm there. Reach out to us if you have any questions, and if you want to kind of join the Next League program, we are happy to be there for you. Reach out to us in any case. The link will be given below in the comment section, and wish you all the best and have a happy Saturday. Wonderful, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us today. If you have any further questions or need personalized guidance, please reach out to us. We are here to help you every step of the way in your journey towards achieving your American dream. Let's connect and make it happen together.